What's up, guys? Coach Nicholas Dheilly here, former professional defensive end for the Saskatchewan Roughriders for the last 4 years. I put everything I've learned in the last 20 years of playing this game into my community online in the Defensive Lineman Academy, where we have over 70 people global, Mexico, Israel, Germany, Canada, Florida. Today, I'm giving you an hour blueprint of what's inside the academy. This 1 hour blueprint isn't even compared to what's inside the community with over 400 hours of stuff just like this. So I really hope you enjoy this video today and you learn something about defensive line as a player or a coach. The best part about this community is that one of my best friends is an offensive lineman that gives us all the secrets about how we can beat them. Second round pick in the CFL back in the day, Jeremy Zver.
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
Pass rush tips you can learn today. First tip we're gonna go over today is the double swipe. A lot of the times when I see guys doing a double swipe and they're practicing it at home, they double swipe like this. It might look cool, it might like you're double swiping, but looks what happens when I go against Jeremy and I just do this against Jeremy after I make the move on him. Punch. He's hitting me, I'm not going anywhere. So why would I practice just double swiping and give it in my chest every single time, right? So the key thing is when we double swipe, it really all starts with our feet, right? Because we can connect any way we want, how we're coached on the upper half of the double swipe. But if we don't bring our inside foot when we double swipe, we are never going to get past the offensive lineman, and we're always just going to get grabbed even if we make a really good double swipe. A lot of the times my players come up to me like, Nick, my double swipe's working all the time, but they're getting me every single time. It's not working, Nick. What the hell? It's because you're not bringing the inside foot. So now when I go against Jeremy and I just practice bringing the inside foot on him, right, he has to open up and give me space directly to the quarterback, right? And let's say if Jeremy didn't open up, right, and I just double swiped and he missed completely, where is there for Jeremy to open up after my second step? Nowhere, right? So if I practice like everybody on Instagram practices and I double swipe not bringing my inside foot, I'm getting rinsed every single time. Now that we know the biggest key of bringing our inside foot when we double swipe, now do you know where to connect with both of our hands? Do I just swipe and bring one hand? No. Do I swipe and bring this hand? No, I gotta bring them at the same time. And a lot of the times I see my guys do this, right? It needs to be in one motion. It can't just be 1, 2. It needs to be boom. It's coming at the exact same time, because if I just step, it's not powerful, it's not precise, and it's not technical. So again, if we have a partner outside, our parents, mom, brother, sister, whoever it is with an arm, you can make it work, right? So Jeremy is going to punch high. When we make the double swipe, we want to do it against high punchers first before we even get into the wrist and elbow placement. Why do you only do the double swipe against high hand punchers? This is why. Jeremy, if you low hand punch me and I double swipe, this is what it's going to look like. Oh, I'm going to lose all my ribs. I'm going to gas out. I'm going to have to tap out. I'm going to have to get my boy in there because I messed up and double swiped on a low hand puncher. So first thing is, make sure you double swipe on high hand punchers. So Jeremy, when you high hand punch me, right? We just went over when we swipe, we bring the inside leg, right? The biggest thing. Now the second biggest thing is we need to isolate the wrist and the elbow. When we isolate the wrist, we're using our inside hand and we're using the back of it like a karate chop. So Jeremy, put it all here. And I want to karate chop the wrist right here. Seeing this momentum, right? I'm powerful with the back of my forearm. At the exact same time when I do this, I want to capture the back of the elbow and the bicep with my outside hand. Capture. A lot of times I see guys do this or hit out, right? When I do that against Jeremy, he's just not gonna move him, right? We need to be powerful and we need to be precise with it. So when I attack with it, I wanna be able to grab his elbow so I can push away. And when I push away, what was the number one thing we talked about when we do the double swipe? Redo it. When we push away, we bring the inside foot with us. Now Jeremy, recover. He'll be like, oh my goodness, I got a pirouette all the way out of it, right? Yeah. Exactly. So key things in, when I double swipe, bring the inside foot. I got to key the wrist and the elbow. Wrist, inside hand, elbow, outside hand. Bring the inside foot at the exact same time. That's how you double swipe. Make sure you're doing it against high hand punchers, please. The next thing we're going to go over is the cross chop. So we just went over the double swipe when they high hand punch, right? We don't want to double swipe on low hand punchers, right? So the move we do against low hand punchers is the cross chop, right? So if I cross chop against a high hand puncher, what is it going to look like? Oh my goodness, I just broke my tooth, right? Damn, you're gonna go out and coach me like, what happened? It's like, I try to cross chop a high hand puncher. Well, what are you doing, right? Start thinking more, right? So the move is low hand punches. Let me see a low hand punch, Jeremy. Perfect. So when we attack it, right, same thing with our double swipe. Any single move we do, I don't need to repeat it for you guys, is that we need to bring the inside foot with us. If we're here practicing the cross chop just like this and not bringing the inside foot with us, we are losing every single time, right? So if you're by yourself, even cross chopping, bring the inside foot. So what did I say? That in the double swipe, we are targeting the wrist and the elbow. We're doing the exact same thing in the cross chop, but it's just a lower movement now. So when I do my cross chop, a lot of guys I coach think it's this. Put your hand out. I'm just chopping, right? It's not a chop rip, it's a cross chop. And the whole point of the cross is that we need to come across the hand with our inside hand and locate the wrist, right? So before in the swipe, we were up like this. In the cross chop, we're crossing over and targeting the wrist and grabbing the wrist. When we target the wrist with our inside hand, we need to target the elbow with the outside hand, and we're doing the same thing technically with the double swipe. It's just not coming high and grabbing the elbow, it's coming low and grabbing the elbow. And when we grab low and grab the elbow, this is when we step, right? And all three of those things have to happen at the same time. So if you're practicing, it's gotta look like this, right? It can't look like, or, right? It has to be my foot's on a string with my hand. So if I'm working with a partner with Jeremy, my eyes are looking at his wrist, my hands are up, I'm attacking the wrist and elbow and stepping at the same time. Wrist elbow, right? The whole point of the cross chop is you're coming over and crossing over, right? I love pairing the cross chop with a jab step. So a jab step will go later in the academy. If you want to go deeper into this, is when we jab them out of place, we get them stuck so we can propel outside and cross chop. Now that we know how to do the cross chop, where we're connecting with the wrist with the inside hand, elbow with the outside hand, and we're bringing the same foot at the exact same time, now we're going to ask an offensive lineman who's been in the professional leagues, how do you beat the cross chop? So if a defensive end goes against you and gives you the jab step, the cross chop, or just a cross chop, how would you beat that as an offensive lineman so we can find strategies to help us out?
So as an offensive lineman, as soon as I see you doing that little jab step or stutter step, I'm going to start settling back.
Yeah, and so when I jump or try to do it, I can't go anywhere.
No.
So that makes sense. A lot of the times I see how offensive linemen beat this is to bring their hand back. So a lot of times if I don't jab step and I do connect here, if I do connect but he brings his hand back, I feel like I'm falling forward a lot.
Yeah.
Is that something you do to a defensive lineman?
It is, yeah, and we call that like a fake punch or just like how you guys would call it
a stab
hand
Yeah.
almost. So yeah, I'm going to fake the punch to see what move you guys are going to do. So boom.
And then when I miss right here, this is a lot of times how we miss our cross chop, right? So we really need to be dialed into that inside hand. If we do end up missing, that we can't have all our weight going forward, right? So we still need to be going forward explosively, but if we do miss, we can transition from this position into a bull rush or a forklift or whatever they give us after that point. So make sure when you do your cross chop, you do it with intent and you're not leaning too much forward or they're gonna bring you down or just gonna step back, like our old friend Jeremy just said. So we just went over how to beat a high hand puncher. We just went over how to beat a low hand puncher. Now we're gonna go over how the really good offensive line play it and they don't throw any hands at all. Right, Jeremy?
Correct.
Perfect, right? So in the pros and really talented offensive linemen, they switch up their sets, but a lot of them like to let you bring the fight to them because a lot of times us defensive linemen, we're not the smartest people in the room sometimes because all we're thinking about is just trying to get there as fast as we can. But if us defensive linemen can start thinking smarter like we do in the defensive line academy, it's going to help us apply pass rush moves and how we think and react way faster when it comes to game day. We beat high hand punchers with a swipe. Wrist elbow, step through. We beat low hand punchers with a cross chop. Wrist elbow, step through with the inside hand. Now the biggest thing, what do we do against guys who kick and then they don't throw any hands, right? I can't swipe, I can't cross chop, right? Or they're just gonna absorb me, right? So the key thing to do, the first thing you do if a guy is doing that is bring the bull rush. Bring the power to him. If he's being scared little boy, we're bringing the power to him. What I like to call this, if they are being passive, we be aggressive. So Jeremy, if I'm in my rush right now and we're walking through it and I see no hands at all by my third step, I am attacking you underneath the chin and I am trying to drive you back. I am teaching you a lesson today that if you want to be passive, I'm gonna be aggressive. So after you get him with a bull rush a couple times, right, you get him going backwards, he's gonna start potentially throwing his hands. But if he doesn't, right, and you start wanting to throw in some finesse moves now because he's anchoring so much on you that the bull rush ain't working no more, I like to throw the stab hand. So the stab hand is like a lawn arm, but without throwing any power into it, right? So when I throw a stab hand, I'm thinking that there's a button right in the middle of Jeremy's chest that I just want to touch it quickly and bring my hands back. Because as soon as I touch this button, Jeremy's hands are going to punch out. Right? So offensive linemen are taught that if we are bringing our hands, right, they're not just going to keep their hands here and take a bull rush. They're going to bring their hands out. And a lot of the times that we were just talking about, each lineman has a different punch. Even if they don't throw hands, eventually they are going to throw a punch, and they're going to throw a low or they're going to throw a high hand punch, right? So technically, if I went into Jeremy and he was a high hand passive puncher, so he doesn't throw his hands until I push the button. When I do this, when I throw the stab, I want to throw a club, right, on the wrist or elbow. I like to throw my club on the back here, but having big offensive linemen, sometimes it's hard. Or you can bring this hand back immediately and double swipe. Jeremy is a low hand puncher and he's passive, so I got to get in here first, touch the button. As soon as I touch the button, I can't keep it there. I need to bring it back and attack the wrist and elbow like I would do on a cross chop. Right? So a couple things you can do out of it, right? High hand puncher, we go stab, bring it back, swipe, we go stab, club, and we can throw in a rip. If they're low hand punchers, we touch the button, stab, then we cross chop, right? So we just figured out how to beat passive offensive linemen. Now let's ask the pro offensive lineman himself, how do you react and how do you beat the stab hand? When guys throw the stab hand, they pull it back quickly and they want to make a move on you.
I like to do personally, because I'm a single arm puncher, so I punch outside first. I see the stab hand, whether he takes it back or not. So if he takes it back, boom, I come back with an inside punch and close the inside move.
This is why it's so important to bring the inside foot. So if I stab and don't bring the inside foot on my move, I am getting demolished every single time. So when I stab and I make this move, I need to bring the inside foot, so it gives me a better pathway and a better chance to at least turn the corner on the quarterback and get the sack. Anything else, Jeremy?
Yeah, so the second option is if you don't remove your stab hand, we as offensive linemen, like you defensive linemen, will either control the wrist up or we'll club down and get the wrist off.
So that's why it's key. We only touch the button and get it back here fast. A lot of the times too, when we stab hand, a lot of dudes like just drop it, right? Then we're gonna get our chest immediately punched. As soon as I stab, if we leave it there, Jeremy said he's gonna grab the wrist or he's gonna pull me down. And man, does that suck looking at yourself on film if that happens. So when we do this, we gotta make sure when we stab, we gotta bring it back fast. And when we make our move, we bring the inside foot at the same time so we clear that lower hand of the offensive lineman. Thank you, Jeremy.
One more thing.
Yep, one more thing, let's hear it.
This doesn't happen often, but when it does work. So if you stab and you pull it back, the offensive lineman will create a little bit of space.
Yes. And if he creates space, we need to understand that they are probably at quarterback depth, that we need to transition into power and just collapse the pocket at this point, and that's how we counter it. Anything else, Jeremy?
That's everything.
Perfect. This is how we beat high hand punchers, double swiping it.
Here we go.
This is how we beat low hand punchers, cross chop. This is how we beat passive punchers, stab hand. So now that we learned how to pass rush, we gotta learn how to stop the run. And stopping the run is the biggest thing, because if we can't stop the run first, we'll never be able to pass rush. So today we're gonna go over the one gap, the two gap, and the shuffle technique, just to teach you some little things that are in the Defensive Line Academy so you can level up today faster than ever. I'm gonna be in defensive end in this scenario, and Jeremy's gonna be a left tackle. So when we one gap, I want to tighten up my stance just a little bit more because I want to stop the edge right here. In pass rush, yeah, you can wind down a little bit, but if I want to be in a run stopping position, if I'm too far out and Jeremy's going to come all the way to me now, I've already lost 2 grounds of edge control where I could have stopped him at. So first thing is, if you know it's a run, if the running back's on that side and you think he's going to be coming down to me and it's going to be a down block, get tighter to the offensive lineman, please. Okay? First thing we do in one gap is make sure that we're not just pointed upfield in our stance. We are angled a little bit at the offensive lineman. So if I have to take my first step, it can be behind his foot. Perfect. A lot already happening before we even get into the one gap. Okay? So now when we one gap, I want to be able to take a step and strike at the exact same time, right? So I'm going to step and strike at the exact same time, right? I obviously want to get a lot lower, right? I'm trying to demonstrate right now. So when I strike and step at the exact same time, I don't want to walk into it and bench press them off, right? So it doesn't look like this, right? It's got to look like this. Step and have my arms fully extended, because with my arms fully extended, I am a stronger position here to hold a big offensive lineman. If I'm like this, he's going to bury me every single time. So let's even walk through a demonstration. If I attack Jeremy with bent arms on my one gap, I can't bench press them off like that. It's impossible, right? They are naturally way bigger than us. So what I teach first and foremost, before we even get into hand placement, is arm extension when I make contact. So when Jeremy, when he comes, I step, extension and contact at the exact same time. So now I have space to shed and I can be stronger with my arms out. It feels like I'm a rod right now. When you're trying to bend a steel rod, when you're out like this, you can't bend a steel rod. When you're like this, I can maybe bend a steel rod. Probably not.
Well, just think, if Nick's like this, everything's lined up, and I try and push him, I'm pushing. I'm pushing. So now bend your arm just a little bit, right?
Give me a little bit right there. Yeah, it's a big difference.
Big difference.
Well, that's a great visual cue. Now that we figured out that we need to step and get extension before we make contact, a big thing I see with my young defensive linemen is that they need to have it at eye level. A lot of the times people strike and they have their hands up like this. If I strike Jeremy with my hands up like this, am I powerful at all like this?
No.
No, not at all. Am I powerful eye level? I can control him.
Oh,
I can't control Jeremy like this, right? So fourth, third, or fifth thing there, because I said so many, is that we need to make sure we are at eye level. I can control a dude like this. I can't control a dude like this. Well, we're getting a lot of tips on this one.
We are.
Okay.
Might as well just sign up for the paid one.
So now that we figured out that we need to step, have arms extended before we make contact, and we need to be at eye level, now it's time to figure out where I put these hands. Because a lot of times, we're just throwing our hands to throw our hands and thinking shoulder pads is shoulder pads, right? No, when I am attacking one gap, it means I have this gap right here. I am responsible for it. I have nothing else. So when I attack him, I need to be in control of this gap. That means when I strike, I can't overstrike or strike over here and fall out of place, right? I need to figure out a way to strike the man and control him. And the best way I found to do that in the last 20 years of playing football is controlling the sternum with my inside hand and the bicep with the outside hand. So now, Jeremy, try to block me with your outside hand. You can't right now, right? And if you hit this bicep 50 times a game, he's going to be walking in the fourth quarter like, I'm not going to be able to block you anymore. So that's one little trick from a pro right there. Second thing is, when we get this sternum bicep in is, we need to drive. One more step. A lot of times I see guys just stuck in this position. Am I powerful like this?
No.
No, I need to drive one more. When I'm striking, I'm not striking like this because he can drive me out. I take one more step, get in a position where I could peek and then shed after, right? So when we're striking, we're not just striking with our foot up. We need to make sure to bring our second step with us.
As soon as you bend one of your elbow, you lose all your power. So keeping these straight arms, collapsing everything, I can't move.
No. As soon as I bend him, he's on me. So that is the biggest key, is arm extension. And the second biggest key, eye level. Third biggest key is inside sternum, outside bicep. Control this and make sure we're taking one more step and get into a powerful position to control our gap. And one more key thing on top of the 5, 7 key things that I said there is that when you get your extension and you catch him with the sternum and bicep, you're at eye level, is that you got to do all that with some serious knockback and some serious mitts, man. You need to strike him with that arm extension and create knockback. As soon as we create knockback on the offensive lineman, we cause havoc. They can't double team us, they can't do anything, and then we could shed and make plays in the backfield and be those top players that our coaches want us to be. So now I'm going to be teaching the 2 gap. So in our 30 front, we have a beast of a D tackle that he has to control both A gaps, right? One of the hardest jobs in football. So in the one gap, we were controlling one gap where we were controlling sternum and bicep so we can be in our gap. When we're two gapping, we need to be able to control both A gaps. So Jeremy, can you be the center for me? Perfect. So instead of a one gap where I'm shaded, a two gap guy, I am screws to screws. I am in my position. I have eyes right on him right now. As soon as Jeremy reacts towards me, if it's at me, let's say you're just reacting to the right here quickly, my first step, I want hands on first. And a lot of times my D tackles like to get hands on, then step. When I get to this point, I need to make sure my hands are on the chest plate, my thumbs are up, my arms are extended. If I'm bent, Jeremy's gonna be able to collapse on me, right? So when we extend it, when we strike, it has to be extended. When we get into this point, we need to either choose what side we're gonna peek on. So if the running back was on this side, I would like to peek over here because it tends to be that the running back's gonna go over here. When you peek, you need to peek and be able to control both gaps at the same time. So I can't peek and jump out here, or I won't be able to control that A gap. When I peek, I need to stay grounded and peek and not move. And if I see the running back, then I can shed over here. If the running back sheds on the other side, I am still in a position to shed this way into my gap. One key thing for our two gap players is the hardest part is being able to not be loaded, right? I teach this loaded position where you want to get knocked back. In a two gap, it's a little different. You need to be able to step right or left. So if Jeremy steps to the right, I need to be able to step over there. If he goes to the left, I need to go over there. So as a two gap player, that's the only time you are not in a crazy powerful position to explode out because you need to read. So as much as I said we don't want to create too much force and knockback in this read position because we need to be able to go left and right, it doesn't mean we can't forcibly knock him back with our upper half, right? So if Jeremy was going to any side right here, Jeremy, I'm reading you, right? I can get knocked back with my hands but still be in a read position, right? Be strong. I know you defensive tackles use zero techs, you one techs are dogs. Be strong with it. Don't just put your hands on, right? Attack them. Learn the one gap and two gap. Now we're gonna learn a technique that when the offensive lineman down blocks as a defensive end, what do? There's a couple techniques, but today we're gonna go over the 50-50 shuffle or surf technique that some people like to call it. As defensive linemen, we were just talking about the one gap. A one gap is when the offensive lineman comes at me and we got to control our one gap, which is our C gap in this instance, right? So now what happens if the offensive lineman just down blocks on us, right? What do? Do I just be like, oh my God, what is happening, right? No, I do not do that, right? There's a couple techniques, but like we just talked about, we're gonna go over the 50-50 that I call it. Some people call it the shuffle or the surf technique. So what I'm doing right now is I'm keying this tip of the shoulder, right? If that tip of the shoulder comes to me, I'm down, I'm coming down, and I'm one gap and holding this one gap. If that tip of the shoulder goes down, I need to take one step in the backfield, get right on his hips, cut this gap off, then transition into a 50-50. When I transition into a 50-50, my job now is I need to look at the quarterback, exchange. When he's holding the ball and about to hand off the ball, he's reading me. He's reading to see if I'm an athletic defensive end that he thinks he could pull it and beat me to the edge, or he's just gonna hand it off and go down. This is one of the hardest parts of defensive end because we gotta play the outside contain, and we need to see if the running back's going to commit downwards. So one of the hardest things to do is just be patient. Be patient. Watch the ball. What I like to say is you have contain, so cheat more to contain. So if the QB boots, you're here. If he hands it off, you can be late down the line. When you are as a defensive end and you're looking at the quarterback, which I'm going to be the quarterback now, and Jeremy's going to be the running back. When I'm the quarterback and I'm looking at the defensive end shuffling that we were just doing, I'm putting the ball right here, right into the running back's mesh point. I call this the mesh point. This is the point you want to look at when you're doing your 50-50. This is where you're going to realize if I'm going to pull it and I need to get out and chase the quarterback, or Jeremy, come back here, or that he's going to give the ball and you need to get flat down the line and try to make a play for a TFL. just down block again for me. Another big cue is when we down block, Jeremy, I need to at least get 1 yard into the backfield. Getting 1 yard into the backfield cuts this point off, and it threatens the quarterback a little bit more that he wants to get rid of the ball or pull it faster. And what I can't do is cheat downwards, because if I cheat downwards and the quarterback boots out and I'm running for 80 yards and I let one go, man, see you next year, man. You ain't going to be on the team, right? So being a defensive end, contain is your biggest friend, right? Do not lose it. It's there forever, right? If you lose it, you ain't going to be playing defensive end. A lot of the times when we get a down block, we will also see something called a hinge block. And we're going to show you that right now. Right? Oh my goodness, I thought you just down blocked. Why are you opening up to me, right? Why, Jeremy, are you opening up to me, and why would you hinge block? Why is that a thing?
So why we do that is because the linebacker that we are blocking to in our scheme has either vacated to cover a receiver or running back, or they're just not there. We go from, say, a double team to a backer's not there, I hinge back to my defensive lineman.
Man, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That you just taught me something right there.
It doesn't matter what we do. Like,
I was always wondering why you hinge block.
Yeah, so it's like if the D tackle is the end and we block down,
yep,
we're always looking to the linebacker.
Yep.
So if the MAC linebacker just vacates, that either into zone or something, it's like, cool, shuck and hinge back.
And then you're helping backside technically.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that eliminates the quarterback's read.
Look at that. Look at that. An offensive lineman in here just taught me something as a pro I never knew. Honestly, growing up and teaching the hinge block, they just taught us to beat it. They didn't teach us why they are doing the hinge block. So we just learned something today from an offensive lineman. Now, let's teach you how to beat the hinge block, right? So as soon as we get to a 50-50 yard job, and our responsibility is to control both of these gaps. As soon as he hinge blocks, it's obviously not going to be a boot because he's trying to protect something inside. So as soon as I see a hinge, my gap is now behind him. So I need to transition and squeeze my gap and get him into his gap. So that's how you beat the hinge block, and that's why offensive linemen hinge block in the first place. So you learn something from an offensive lineman, learn something from a defensive lineman, all in the Defensive Lineman Academy. What are you waiting for?
All right, guys. Today we're going to go over the propel step. So the propel step is when we push off either our outside foot or our inside foot. And when we're pushing off, we're not pushing off and then just making a vertical jump and jumping straight up in the air. We're jumping like a broad jump. Like you want to get as far out as we can, right? We don't want to show our chest. We don't want to get up high. We want to stay low, but we also want to propel. A lot of the times when we swipe or make a cross drop or make any one of our moves, we got to bring our inside foot, right? But a lot of the times when we bring our inside foot and just step and bring our inside foot, sometimes that's just not enough to clear the offensive lineman's hip. So a lot of the times you might not be close enough to get past the offensive lineman's hip when you make the move if you just step. So this is where the propel step comes in. It's more of like a bound. Have you done some like single leg bounds where you're trying to bound out as far as you can, not up, out? Right? It's more of a bound, but when you bound, you can bound either on your outside foot, but if you bound and propel off your outside foot, whatever move you got to make, you got to bring that inside foot immediately with you, right? And then you could also propel off the inside foot. So when you propel off the inside foot, you got to propel and push off the inside foot, and then as soon as you push off, you got to like be a slingshot and bring that inside foot with you at the exact same time. So this is a skill in itself to master, but it's a skill because sometimes we're not always going to get close enough to their hands to make their moves. Sometimes, a lot of the times, some of us make our moves too early because we're defensive linemen. We want to get there as fast as we can, and we don't really slow it down. But if you do end up making your move a little far away from the offensive lineman's hands, the propel step might be for you. So the propel step, I need you to generate as much force as you can into the ground to propel yourself forward. A lot of the times I see guys like propel stepping and putting their foot in the ground first and then trying to push off their foot like it's a squat. No, we are going to be athletic. As defensive linemen, we are athletic freaks, man. So when we propel step, we got to push off and generate force off the ground. So let's watch our defensive end here, number 94. He is walking right now. He's stuck with the offensive lineman right now. He gets caught up, or the tight end, I don't know who that is, an offensive lineman, and watch him push off his inside foot right now. So if 94 just stepped right here and made his move, he wouldn't clear the offensive lineman's hips. But watch him propel step off the inside foot right here. See this inside foot step right here, guys? This inside foot right here? Let's watch it. You see what he did there? He like pushed himself, right? Pushed himself. He's pushing himself past the offensive lineman. And when he pushes himself past the offensive lineman, he doesn't flip his hips, right? So let's watch this. One, two, three. He's pushing off this, right? Look at this push off. He's pushing off this, and he's not really jumping off the air, right? But he's pushing off the inside foot and he's gathering ground going forward and using the momentum going forward. And what was the key thing that I said in the beginning of this video is that if you do propel step off the inside foot, what do you need to do? You need to bring that foot right now. See him propel off that inside foot and push off the inside foot. He's bringing the inside foot right now. Do you guys see this? I know it's in slow motion, but you see how he's bringing it automatically. And when he brings it and he steps through, that is called the step through, guys. When you step through like that and you propel, not flipping the hips, it puts you in a position to look at his hips right now. It's all pointing towards the QB, and he can run and he can get to that right now. If he flipped his hips, right, and didn't bring the inside foot, let's go back. If he just pushed off and then tried to pull through and then just left his hips flip like this and he didn't bring the inside foot, he wouldn't be able to clear the hips, first of all, and then he wouldn't be able to get in a running position like this to keep on going and get his momentum on the QB. Unbelievable. That was an unbelievable move. And what was really cool about this man is just his athleticism and his bend, right? Like he got to the point where he's rushing. He doesn't even really make a move, right? He kind of misses on his cross, his swipe, and he gets stuck right here. Look at that. We all get stuck in position. A lot of times we get 60 snaps a game. We get one side of the game with the best D lineman in the world, right? But again, you're going to get stuck like this a lot of times. So again, when you get stuck, use the propel step. Propel, push pass, right? Don't just stop your rush there and put your hand up. Propel, push off that inside foot. Propel, bring the inside foot with you. Again, if we're propelling off the inside foot, we got to bring it with us. Don't forget about it, right? We got to bring that thing with us. When we step through like this, it puts us in a great angle towards the quarterback. And this is why I honestly preach to all my guys that I love the split squat position. So if you guys can do Bulgarian split squats, split squat jumps, split squat holds, anything, because the split squat is a running motion that we need to get into. And if he could even get lower right now and reduce his surface and get into a split squat and have like a paper thin underneath his knee right here, not like a helmet right here, man, the offensive lineman couldn't even touch him, right? So who's really good at that is Von Miller, but really, really good push through, really, really good propel step off the inside foot. And what's the key? If we propel off the inside foot, we got to bring that foot with us. Don't forget about it. Let's watch number 94 on the right side here. First of all, look at his angle. I love his angle, right? We're going to watch his propel step, right? He's going to propel off his outside foot this time. The first one we showed from number 94, he was propelling off of his inside foot. On this one, we can see him propelling off his outside foot. Let's see the difference. So propelling off the outside foot, right? He's making an inside move though this time. So the difference is he's still going to bring that inside foot. That's technically that outside foot he's propelling with is going to become his inside foot. So he's got to bring it with him. So he's going to propel inside right now. He's taking 1-2 hard steps, realizes that the running back or the wide receiver there is going to chip him. There's no sense on taking this double team and just getting thrown out of the play. So he sees an opportunity here. So he gets 1-2 explosive steps upfield. I love it. And he propels steps. He sees an opportunity and he reacts. As defensive lineman, we attack and we react. He took 2 steps and he understands that he needs to react immediately to this situation. And he does with a propel step. So as a propel step, one key thing I didn't mention as well is that we need to be flat-footed on propel step. When we are pass rushing, I always say crush the cans, right? Because that's how we're exploding forward. But if we're propel step, we are pushing ourselves into a gap. We are pushing ourselves forward, right? So the only way to push ourselves forward is to be flat-footed, right? And I only say be flat-footed in the run game or be flat-footed in a propel step or a jab step where you have to propel back outside. But when I am pass rushing, make sure you are crushing cans so you're not flat-footed, okay? Because you are more faster and you're more agile crushing cans, okay? You are more powerful flat-footed. So he hits the flat foot right stance right now. He's flat-footed on the right outside foot, and now he's going to propel inside. Do you see how much ground he gets by propel stepping? If he just took this step and then stepped right here, the offensive lineman would be able to just shut him down and wash him all the way down the line, right? But the fact that he's looking at the inside snake hand now, propelling outside, the outside, propelling from the outside foot, and then he brings the outside foot, which becomes the inside foot because he's taking an inside rush. He brings it with him. He doesn't forget about it. Right? That's one big thing, man. Bring the inside foot with you, right? I know he was his outside foot he propelled with, but since he's making an inside move, it becomes his inside foot, right? Crazy. I know D lineman, we're like, oh my goodness, I got to think right now. This is crazy, right? But this is what it's all about is actually dialing down the steps, dialing down the footage, dialing down different techniques so we can understand how to beat offensive linemen anywhere around the world. So 1, 2, reacts, pushes off, plants off of it. He's propel stepping off of it. Look at that. One thing I would say, he's going kind of sideways. If he could propel step and step more vertical towards the quarterback and cut all this space instead of going sideways like this, he got lucky with this massive gap right here. But sometimes that gap won't always be open. He takes the propel step. If he can just cut the corner just a little bit more, first of all, just unbelievable. What I love about it is he's just bringing the inside foot with him. He's bringing that thing. He ain't forgetting about it. He ain't forgetting about it. And he gets in a position where he's in a split squat position. He ain't turning and flipping his hits. He can run now. Now let's watch him run. Yes. Sack. Right? Unbelievable. And you know what? That was actually a stunt too. 94, 97, we're doing a stunt. So you can propel step if you're doing a stunt. So if you're doing end first, then tackle loop, you use the propel step to get in that gap. 1, 2, propel step. Awesome. He knows he has to understand to penetrate. This was a perfect stunt, right? They put 40 there. It was like, let's just get you stunned inside because they got that guy there chipping you all the time. We might as well send you inside. So he propel steps inside on an exit or ear stunt, which I say end first, right? And tackle second. Amazing, right? He targets the inside hand because if you're making an inside rush, you got to take your eyes from the outside hand to the inside hand, right? And then when you do that, your outside leg becomes your inside leg. So make sure you bring that thing with you, right? Man, 94 is killing that stuff right there. Great, great, great. Look at this. Even a better angle with it, right? So he's propel stepping off that outside foot. He's pushing it. Look at it flat footed. He needs to be powerful off that. He's already targeting the inside hand. Amazing, amazing, amazing. He's already cross chopping that thing. We're grabbing the wrist. When I cross chop, we grab the wrist with the inside hand and the elbow with the outside hand, right? So since he's making an inside move right now, that outside hand of his actually becomes his inside hand, which he's attacking the wrist, and his inside hand becomes his outside hand, which is attacking the elbow. I know it's so much thinking, right? But when he does this amazingly. Look at this. Attacks wrist, attacks elbow. The offensive lineman cannot do anything. But the best part of this is that he brings the inside foot with him, which was his outside foot, because now he's making an inside move, which becomes his inside leg, right? But look at that thing, man. He's bringing that thing with him. He's bringing that thing with him. It's like his backpack, right? He's traveling, right? It's his suitcase. He ain't forgetting about that thing. He ain't forgetting about it. He ain't flipping his hips, bro. He's burning that inside foot. Man, was that good. Man, was that a great pass rushing duel right here. Pop. Another propel step. Let's watch this one. So first of all, man, what I love about this defensive lineman is he's angled towards the quarterback. He's making 73 come to him. So when he does that right now, 73's got to open his lips. He's got to be like, oh my goodness, I got to get to the edge. I did not get to my set point right now. So let's watch what our defensive end does here. He's going to throw his rip in. He's throwing his rip in. All right. He throws his rip in, gets it in. Oh my goodness, he propel rips. I have never seen this before. He goes and throws his rip. And then what he does off the rip, he just doesn't just launch that thing in there and tries the banana all the way around with his rip. He launches that thing in, grabs the back of the bicep. He's locked in right now. And he just doesn't stand there and just takes it right now. He literally propel steps. See that inside foot of his right now? He's pushing off that. He's loading up, generating so much power in that inside step. He's a tactical technician right now. Look at him. Actually, this is crazy. When he's throwing in his rip, I've never seen this move. He's grabbing the back of the bicep, the tricep right now with his rip, right? He's not going a forceful rip. It's more of a grab. He's actually targeting it. And when he targets that, he propel steps off the inside foot. And what did I say? When you propel step off the inside foot, boys, you got to bring that thing with you. And what does he do with it? He brings it with him. Do you see that? He doesn't just stay there, right? He brings it with him. That is crazy. Watch that inside foot. Oh my, that is textbook. What I think is really cool is his move, though. He's grabbing the back of the tricep. He's pulling it. Look at it. He's even pulling it. It's an arm pull, a rip to an arm pull, and he's bringing the inside foot. Man, look at the pauses right here, man. If we're making any move, we're making any pull through, and you can get your stuff like this, man. You get your feet clearing the hips. You get your inside foot pointed to the quarterback. You end up getting in your split squat position, and then you can just run, 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 run. Look at that, man. There's no banana there, man. There ain't no banana there. That's some dog stuff. Does he get the sack? Yes, he gets a sack. He gets a sack. He gets a sack. That's crazy. But let's go over it one more time because I think this is the coolest move ever, right? Throws in the rip, right? It actually wasn't a powerful rip, but he's just throwing the rip to target the back of the tricep. He wants to grab that thing. As soon as he grabs that thing, he's propel stepping off his inside foot. As soon as he propel steps off his inside foot, he ain't leaving it there. He ain't flipping his hips. He is bringing it with him. He is bringing the suitcase with him, and he is landing in the split squat position, the king position for all defensive linemen, because this position right here can let us run towards the quarterback. Yes, Hunter. Man, that is textbook. That's cool, man. One of the coolest moves I honestly have ever seen in my life, right? Throws in the rip just to place it, right? As soon as he plays it, this is all time. This is all what he's trying to do, right? He grabs the back of the tricep. He knows as soon as he grabs the back of the tricep, he can propel step off the inside foot. And he knows as soon as he propels off the inside foot, he better bring that inside foot with him, bring it packing, right? And as soon as he does, get in that split squat position and start running towards quarterback, man. Yes, that is the coolest move I've ever seen. I'm going to start practicing that with the guys. Yes. Let's watch another propel step here, boys. Number 49 on the outside. Great angle. Do you guys see what all of them are doing? They are widened out. They are angled towards the quarterback. They want the offensive lineman to come to them so they can make the decision, right? So he's attacking them, right? He's widening out. But he ain't just running upfield. He's attacking 57 on his angle, right? So right now, 49 can go inside, outside. 57 don't know, right? This is the game we need to start playing with the offensive lineman. We need to angle attack to his spot as fast as we can to react to what they give us in that position, in that point of time, right? Because every time an offensive lineman pass sets, he ain't giving you the same pass set every single time, okay? And if he is, I don't know, man. He probably in high school he's getting beat a lot, right? So let's watch this propel step, right? 49 comes in right now, gives a little shake, right? Goes into a bull rush. I love the bull rush. When he bull rushes, he attacks with his inside foot. He gets hands on first in the chest plate. He gets below his chin and he starts driving. Okay, let's watch what happens. Ooh, oh my. Fitting onto the splits. Big boy down, big boy going down. But let's see why he did the splits, right? Again, I tell my guys when we're bull rushing a dude, we're never going to bull rush the Batman all the way back to the quarterback. 57 is bigger than 49 right now. We might get him off guard like he did, right? But 57 is taught to anchor down, anchor down, anchor down. As soon as the fat man anchors, it's really hard to keep pushing him back. So we got to really understand as soon as he anchors, we need to have a counter move. So his counter move was he just slipped. Right? Like some of my counters, which I like off the bull rush, is a bull rip, a bull pull through, which you're grabbing the jersey and using the momentum as soon as the anchor you're pulling through. But he didn't even need to grab the jersey at this point, right? He understood that 57 is anchoring so hard. He just decided to propel step off his inside foot. See this right here, boys? Propel step, propel step. And what's really cool about this propel step is he actually targeted the outside wrist. And he's propel stepping. He's not just stepping through, he's propel stepping off his inside foot. And what's the big thing when we propel off our inside foot? We got to bring it with us, right? We got to pack it up with us, right? And what does he do? Propel steps, right? When he propel steps, he lets go of 57, all the weight, momentum, and he falls on his face, right? But the coolest part right here is watch 49. Look at that inside foot. It's coming with him. It's coming with him. He's packing that thing up. He's packing that thing up and he's bringing it with him, right? All he had to do was understand that we, in our bull rush, we can get a big fat man off balance here with our speed to power. But as soon as we start feeling this anchor, oh, that's a lot of weight anchoring on me, right? Because look, there's a lot of weight anchoring on me. All you got to do is really kind of just pull off of it, bull slip it, not even do a move, just kind of target his wrist. He's going to fall right on his face because he's got so much fat man weight on front of his chest, right? Sorry to any offensive linemen who are in here, right? But damn, did he fall like a pancake like that. But the best thing I wanted to see from this, guys, is when he does the bull rush, right? We're talking about the propel step off this, right? Look at his flat foot. He's powerful off that inside foot. When he pushes it off, he's bringing the inside foot with him. Massive, massive key when we propel step with the inside foot, okay? Does he get the sack here? Does he get the sack? Does he get the sack? Does he get the sack? He's hustling. This is what I want to see out of every one of us. If we make the move, if we just can any kind of pressure, we need to see that kind of effort. I don't care if I swipe and the quarterback's running all the way on the other side of the sidelines. I want to run after him and put that film on tape. Okay. All right. Let's watch number 48 on the outside right here. Let's watch this. Let's watch this propel step. So it looks like he's propelling off the inside foot, which I love. So what's the key thing when we propel off the inside foot? We got to bring it with us. Back that thing with us, right? So look at him right now. He's attacked the edge. He's got to the set point. He understands that he could make a move right here and just step, but the offensive lineman is athletic enough at the pro level that he could jump on him and just wash him all the way out. So 48's thinking like, I could probably propel step right here and get past his hips right now and make a move, and he wouldn't even understand it because these offensive linemen ain't thinking like that, right? So let's see it, right? Let's see how many steps he took to the propel step, right? So 1, 2, 3. He attacked. He's got into the angle of the offensive lineman. He's got into the set point of the offensive lineman. All he has to do is propel step just a tiny bit and get past his hips. Let's watch it. Push. Look at this push, right? He's pushing off flat-footed. He's propel stepping, right? Look at that propel step. He's a little high. What I would say is when we propel step, please do not get this high, right? I know he's a pro and he knows what he's doing, but damn, don't get that high, right? Don't get that high. Good offensive lineman. If he got his hands on right now, he would have just kind of got him, right? But again, the propel step off the inside foot, what does he do? What does he do when he propels? He brings the inside foot. You guys seeing that? See how he brings the inside foot with him? He's not flipping his hips. Legit, we've seen every guy do this, right? And they're all different, but they're all at a high level because they do the certain things correct, right? We need to propel a step. We need to bring the inside foot with us. You guys seeing this? Bring the inside foot with us, right? And what's really cool about this, like I said, the cool split squat position, if he could even just get a little lower right now, it gets us angled and it gets us running. If he was hip flipped right now, 68 could just wash him out. But since he stepped through, since he's in this position, he can continue his path towards the quarterback. He missed him though. Come on, right? But again, he did miss him for the reason that he could have done better right here, right? When he steps and he propels, he had the right idea. But where does he propel? He propels out, right? If he cut the angle and propelled more straight and on his angle, he doesn't just go upfield on the propel and he doesn't stand straight up on the propel, right? He would have gotten more tighter to the offensive lineman. He could have ripped and leaned even tighter. And he wouldn't let the offensive lineman push him out like this right here. Okay, guys? So we can even correct the pros. We can always get corrected, man. How many times as defensive lineman we get a sack every single play? At TFL, every single play. Nah, man. You get 2 TFLs, you get a sack game, you're a dog, right? And then what'd you do for the last 59 reps? Probably needed to figure stuff out, right? So never even think, even if you're one of the top guys in the country, right? You could always get better. You could always get better. All right, let's watch another pull through. Let's watch your end over there. He's got a little tight end releasing on him, right? So he's got a wide angle. I love it, right? Get 58 on an island. Get him out there, right? Get him out there, right? Great get off. 1, 2. Look at that, man. On 3 steps, he's attacked 58 set point, man. And he's ready to make a move. Remember, we were just looking at Hunter's last one where he threw in the rip, man, and he brought his inside foot with him. Really cool technique that we don't see many people do, right? But you find something that works and you make it your own. And that's what he did. And I don't want to see, I think that's what's coming up right now, but let's see what happens. Oh, he throws in the rip, right? Hunter, he throws in this rip. He doesn't throw in this rip to go for power rip. He throws in this rip to grab the back of the tricep. It really throws away the offensive lineman because every offensive lineman, when you see a rip, man, you're just throwing a rip and you're leaning and I'm going to banana you all the way out. Offensive linemen normally love it. But if you can target it in a different way like this, man, really cool and kudos on Hunter, right? So Hunter loves his move. I think he's made it his own, right? He gets there. He gets to the set point. First of all, what he does great is first 3 steps, he attacks the set point. Do you see how he's not attacking the full man right now? He is attacking half the man. He's attacking half the man. Every single one of my defensive linemen love running right down the middle of offensive linemen. They love running right down the middle of the fat man. And I do not understand why. But this is the angle we need to get to every time we pass rush, right? We put him in a box right now. We can go in or out on these offensive linemen because we are more athletic than these offensive linemen. But let's go back to Hunter's rip move right now. He throws it in. He grabs the back of the tricep. This is what he does. He wants to locate that. He wants to locate that right now. Look at this. He locates it. He grabs it. And what does he do after he locates it and grabs it? He uses the propel step of what the classroom's all about today. And he's propelling off of his what? His inside foot. And it's a flat foot. Look at that. He's being powerful. And it's all queued up, man. He knows. It's almost, he's practiced this probably 1,000, 10,000 times. He locates the back of the tricep and he's already pushing off his inside foot. He's already propelling. He understands this is the move he needs to make. So he's propelling. Do you guys see this? When he propels with his inside foot and he's pushing off, he's bringing that tricep down. But when he's bringing that tricep down and he's propelling off the inside foot, what do I always say when you got to propel off your inside foot? You got to pack that thing up with you. It's your suitcase, right? You can't just leave it there hanging like this. You can't leave it there hanging, or he's going to collect you and he's going to wash you all the way out, right? So as soon as you propel off that inside foot, you need to bring that inside foot with you. And look at this. When he brings the inside foot, he ain't just bringing it to bring it. He's bringing it with a purpose, right? Look at him. He's bringing it and he's turning his toe. Look at his toe right now. It is pointed towards field. Look at this. It's pointed towards the quarterback. That is the coolest thing, right? We're going to watch it out. I bet you he gets all the way to there. But that inside foot, that inside toe is taking you to where you want to go, right? So if he propelled step, and even if he brought the inside foot with him, but this toe was facing directly upfield, he would get washed out again, right? So there's so many little technical things that come into pass rushing. Man, it's crazy, right? But here's a big thing, right? When we bring this inside foot and we propel step, we don't just need to rip. We could swipe, we can cross drop, we can do anything off of our propel step. But when we do our propel step and when we do land and when we do bring the inside foot, we need to land with our toe. We need to land with our toe pointed towards the quarterback so it can take us there with our next steps. So let's watch this out. Rip, lean, lean, lean. Let's finish, Hunter. Bop. Good. Right? So another really, really cool move by Hunter. I want to watch it one more time. Honestly, I don't even know what to call it. The rip pull through, right? Rip targeting the back of the tricep. As soon as you target the back of the tricep, you're bringing that inside foot. You're propelling off that inside foot, and it's bringing you towards the quarterback. When you propel, you bring the inside foot, and you do what, guys? You point the toe. Because when you point the toe, it's going to bring your other foot and your other legs when you keep running towards the quarterback. Okay, boys? Great job. Great stuff, Hunter. You just taught me a new move. Max Crosby, one of the GOATs. One of my favorite players. I know everybody's like the GOAT, man. GOAT. Lawrence Taylor's the GOAT, man. I don't know, man. Max Crosby, my GOAT. My favorite GOAT of all time, man. I think he's the highest paid defensive player too. So shout out to him. So what do I see about our boy Max Crosby right now? He's angled and he is going towards the outside shoulder. He ain't running right through the man. He's attacking half a man. He's angled towards the quarterback. Right now, he loves his swipe. Max Crosby loves to swipe. If you ever put on Max Crosby film, he is swiping. And the cool part about Max Crosby's swipe is that he has a counter for it. He can swipe, spin, he can swipe, rip. He does so many things off of his swipe, and it's the coolest thing ever, right? So let's watch him swipe here. I know this is the propel class, right? But let's see if he propels off a swipe here. So he swipes. Oh my goodness, yes, he does, right? So look at this. He has his timed up right now. He's pretty far away from the offensive lineman right now. If he swiped and just stepped with the inside foot, he ain't really going nowhere, right? If he attacked more, he could step and swipe with the inside foot, but right now he's making his move a little far away, misses with his swipe, but it doesn't matter. He misses with his swipe, but what he does simultaneously when he swipes is he propels off his inside foot. He propels with a flat foot that generate the most power. So when he propels, steps, and swipes, he misses his swipe, right? Right now, he's a low hand shooter, the offensive lineman. He should have propelled a cross chop. But again, when we're pros and we find a move that we love, when we're pros and we find a move that we love, we normally do it a lot, right? Right now, he should have cross chopped. But again, he misses the double swipe. He brings the inside foot off the propel. And what does he do amazing that we just talked about in the last rep when he propels and brings the inside foot? He points his toe. He points the toe, right? So look at this, right? He misses on the swipe, but when he propels, he brings the inside foot. And this is the key thing for everybody who thinking hip flip is king. No, when you propel and you bring the inside foot, look at this. When the fat man tries to lean on you, your inside foot is already leaning towards the quarterback. It's already pointing towards the quarterback. You were clearing the hips. If he did not bring the inside foot and the fat man caught him right here, man, he would have got washed out or pancaked. But the fact that he brought the inside foot with him when he propelled and he gained ground with the propel step and he's pointing his toe right now. Look at that pointed toe, Max Crosby King. And he can just step. Look at this. He can just step towards the quarterback and he's getting held like crazy. But the fact that his body, his toes are all pointing towards the quarterback still allow him to get there. Oh my God, was that such a bad hold, right? But let's just go back to watch this one more time. When you propel step off the inside foot, don't matter if you miss your move. Make sure if he's a low hand puncher like this, boys, we're cross chopping, right? But when you propel step, you are flat footed, generate more power off of it. You're pushing off of it and you're gaining ground forward. You're not gaining ground upward. It's not a vertical jump. It's more of a broad jump. And when we broad jump and we're pushing off that single leg foot, I cannot land in a squatting position. I can't land in an uncomfortable position. When I bring that inside foot and I point the toe, I gotta land in like a split squat position. You guys seen this? So if Crosby wanted to land in a split squat position right now and go from a run, he could, right? Because he flipped his hips or didn't get into a split squat position like this. Like this is what I call a split squat position, right? Like if you wanted to squat down, that would be a split squat position, right? If he just landed, if he just landed like right here with both feet on the ground right now, he wouldn't be able to keep running, right? So the fact that he can keep running, pointing the toe and everything, man, is crazy. So guys, when you propel step, make sure you are not jumping up, you are jumping out. Okay. And if you're propel stepping off your inside foot, you are packing that thing up and bringing the inside foot with you. And if you are propelling off the outside foot, you are still bringing that inside foot with you. Okay, guys. Hope you learned something today. See you guys next week.
Today, we're at a park. And at any park, you can figure out a way to get better at playing defensive line with anything you find there. And that's what I'm going to show you today. So right now, we're going to work on our one gap reaction with a seesaw. Practice making the move and bringing your inside foot at the same time with a swing and a friend. Ready, Jeremy? Ready. Oof! Don't have any bags at home and you want to do some bag drills? Just go to a park, find some things that look like a bag, and start pass rushing through it. Oof, oof, oof. Work on your double swipe with a drum. Make sure when you're double swiping, you're bringing that inside foot with you and connecting with the wrist and the elbow. Work on your rip and lean with a massive globe. So first off, you want to get your rip in really high up, right? We're pushing through our forearm and we want to be able to see our elbow. Again, we don't want to just be tight with our upper half. We want to be tight with our lower half. So now when I'm leaning and ripping, I want to reach and step. And we go all the way on the way back. So same thing, high hand, reach. To even make this drill even harder and to make it better, get as low as you can. So on that last one, you saw me pretty high up to explain it, but if I can get low, and if I can rip like this, and like this, work on your stab hand with a xylophone.
You won't find this anywhere else. This will serve you for a lifetime of playing or coaching defensive line. Click below, join today, and let's get to work. Coach Nicholas Dheilly, here to help.